Hare Krishna. So, welcome you all to this online session of Art of Chanting. We must all be thinking that Art of Chanting, we have heard of Art of Living, Art of Cooking. Is there any art, something called the Art of Chanting? Yes, we are surprised because we think that we know how to chant. Chanting is such an easy process. Just put your hand into the bead bag and just start rolling the beads. And by your tongue, just say the holy name. That is no how we keep on doing chanting since so many years. Do they really somebody need to teach me the art of chanting? I already know it. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि ना भावेत ग्राहिमिंद्रिय सेवन मुखे ही जीवादो स्वयमेव स्फूर्तितः. The process of devotional service start from your tongue. Sevan mukhe hi jivado. That is the process from where we started our chanting. The tongue is made of muscles and blood. But is that tongue really chanting the names of Krishna, the holy name? The art of chanting will take us from chanting from our lips to chanting of our heart. Like heart is the software and the tongue is the hardware. Tongue is only acts as a medium from which we can process the chanting process. But through these sessions, we are going to learn that how to chant from the heart. So let's begin the art of chanting. By now, we have been chanting from so many years. What we were doing, we were just offering broken names to Krishna. Maharaj, His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, describes in his book Living Name, when will I stop offering you broken names? Because my love is still divided between you and the world. So, we've been chanting since so many years, but we were offering Krishna the broken names divided between him and the rest of the world. While we are chanting, we are absorbed in our family, in our aspirations, in our job, in our expectations, in our bank balance. That is what we all are doing since so many years. So, this online course might help us to take our consciousness, to delve deep into our consciousness, and how we can come in contact with the real holy name. How can we offer a complete name to Krishna? How can we offer a real name to Krishna? Starting from the very beginning, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, started this process from the day back from 1960s. He spread the holy name throughout the world. He fulfilled the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the acharyas that the holy name should be spread to every nook and corner of the world, every town and village of the world. He started at Tompkins Square Park, New York. It is by all his causeless mercy that from all over India to New York to West, he went alone to spread the glories of the holy name. It is all his causeless mercy that we are here today to discuss the glories of the holy name. Srila Prabhupada says 99% of our devotional service depends on chanting. We have been chanting from so many years, but is there any spiritual progress? We feel sometimes that there is a spiritual stagnation. If you feel so, this online course is really going to help you. This is the book, The Living Name, by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, that inspired me to prepare these online sessions for all the seekers who really want to improve their spiritual progress, or who really want to delve deep into the ocean of the holy name, who really want to taste the holy name. His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj was born in 1954 in Hamburg, Germany. And from the very beginning, he was onto a spiritual quest. And that quest finally ended up in 1971 when he met A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He was so attracted by his teachings that he started translating all his books into German language. And in 1989, he finally got the sannyas initiation, and he was finally into the preaching mission of Srila Prabhupada. So this book, The Living Name, as we can clearly see, describes a guide to chanting with absorption. We are chanting, but without absorbing anything. We are into a trap of mechanical chanting. So let us all try to delve deep into the ocean of the holy name. As Andhra Prabhu also describes in his book, that do not try to go high and high in devotional service. Try to go deep and deep. So by this process, we will try to go deep and deep into the ocean of the holy name. Some of the quotes by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj that I would like to quote. The holy name is a seed that carries within itself complete spiritual reality. This reality is revealed gradually, step by step, and it is not only Krishna who is revealed, but our own true selves. So, the holy name is a kind of seed that our Guru, our spiritual master, has given us. So, it is the duty of the devotee or the gardener to water it nicely, to protect it from the weeds, so that it grows and grows into a creeper of devotional service and finally enters into the spiritual realm. The one thing that dramatically changes everything, the switch which turns on the light of Krishna consciousness, is learning to chant the holy name with taste. We are chanting, but sometimes we feel that there's a lack of taste. So we keep it as a duty. We are duty bound sometimes. And we feel that out of duty, I'm chanting my 16 rounds, and that is all. This is the only reason that there is no spiritual progress. There is lack of enthusiasm. We just have to switch on. We have just have to turn on the light of Krishna consciousness. And that will, this light of Krishna consciousness, when emerges, brings out so much light that it takes away all the darkness of ignorance of our mind, of our heart. When you chant the holy name, you do not really need to go to all holy places, because the holy places stand at the feet of the holy name. So that describes that the holy name is all in all, everything. Hare Nam Eva Kevalam. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam. Kalau Naste Vanaste Gatiranyatha. So in this age of hypocrisy, in this age of duality, the holy name is everything. So what all can happen if we do not learn the art of chanting? What happens? We have kept our aspirations very high. We have kept our aspirations as we come to devotion. that chant and be happy. We think as I'll start chanting, I will become happy. But after a time, we experience that there's no happiness. I came here to be happy while I'm chanting, but it has become a burden for me now. Is it so that is it those aspirations that I had when I came to devotion are being fulfilled by chanting? So our aspirations are very high. Definitely, aspirations should be high, but there should be a process to achieve those aspirations also. We are into a trap of chanting mechanically. Like, as we say to a parrot, chant the holy name. He will chant it by his tongue and moving his lips, but without feeling, without emotions, without sense of service, without sense of love. So that is what we are doing daily. We are chanting, but that is called a parrot chanting. And that has been engraved so much into our habits that old habits die hard. It becomes really difficult to change those habits. We get up early in the morning, put our hand into the bead bags, and just like a parrot, we keep on repeating the 16 syllables of Hare Krishna Mahamantra without knowing that whether those syllables are going to have any effect on our consciousness. Is our consciousness able to touch the holy name, the syllables of the holy name? That is the reason that we do not experience the real taste, the real power of the holy name. So we need to change our old habits to new habits. Like there was some once an archer who wanted to learn archery to the perfection. So he went to his guru and said that I already know archery to some extent. I know how to aim, I know how to hold the bow. So just teach me to the perfection. So the guru told him, it will take long time for you to learn archery. So we would also be surprised that he was already knowing the 50% of archery. Why that guru told him that you will take long time to learn the archery to the perfection. Because the guru told him, first I have to undo all the things that you have learned already. So archery, learning archery is an art. I have to start from the scratch that you have already learned. I have first undo those things. Similarly, the parrot chanting, the mechanical chanting has become our old habit. So if we are into the process of learning chanting to the up to the perfection, we have to undo our old habits of parrot chanting. Chanting is also like an art. In this case, the guru told the archer, I will teach you some mantras. I'll teach you some exercises by which you will be able to control your breath. You'll be able to control your hands, hand movements. You'll be able to control your mind. You'll be able to aim nicely. Then you'll be able to learn the archery to the perfection. So, if we really want to learn chanting to the perfection level, we also need to do all these things. We have to undo our old habits. We have to try to learn to control our breath, learn to control our mind, learn to control our hand movements, everything. Because everything is a synchronization. In any process, whether it is cooking, whether it is guitar playing, or whether or anything, we need to synchronize all our senses to focus, to aim on a particular point. Similarly, we are chanting without a focus, without an aim. That is what we are going to learn by these sessions. Like this, as we can see, there's a chanter. He is chanting. Nobody can say he's not chanting. But is he really chanting? His mind, his heart, everything is somewhere else. He is into a perfect dress. He is into a perfect tilak and dhoti kurta and kanti mala and a bead bag in his hand. He is moving the hand also into the chanting bag. He might also be lip sync the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But is he really chanting? That is what we are. We may not be holding mobiles. We may not be watching TV while chanting, but still we are not different from him if we are not investing our consciousness into Krishna. So this whole session is of learning from imperfection to perfection. All the other things that Prabhupada has given us in devotional service are basically to chant perfectly. Somebody told Prabhupada, asked Prabhupada, that why have you written all these books? So Prabhupada told them, you answer individually. So everybody answers differently. One answered that Prabhupada, you have written the books to give us knowledge, to give us the absolute truth. Somebody told us to how we can defeat Mayavad. So there are different answers that why Prabhupada has written all these books. So Prabhupada said, no, I have not written all these books to make you knowledgeable about the spiritual practice or make you knowledgeable about the our Vedas and Upanishads. I have written these all books so that you can chant nicely one day, chant sincerely. So everything is being focused on chanting. That is why Prabhupada says 99% of our spiritual progress is chanting. So when we are chanting, we are like a dwarf, and the aspirations that we have, we think they are very far off. We have heard that chanting gives us the love of Godhead, but it has been so many years that we are chanting, and we experience that there is no love. How will I get the love of Godhead one day? So we are like dwarfs. How much we jump, how much we try, how much we uh, try to go out of our uh, experiences, out of our limits, but the moon is not going to come down. Only the dwarf can pray to the moon, please come down. That moon will definitely come down so that the dwarf can touch it. Similarly, our consciousness is a very dwarf consciousness, material consciousness. By that material consciousness, we will not be able to touch the lotus feet of Krishna, the lotus feet of the holy name. We can only fervently pray to Krishna and the holy name to come down to our consciousness. That is what we are going to learn from this book. There are many benefits of chanting, as you can read. It evokes love of God, revives one's dormant eternal consciousness, liberates one from the miseries of material existence, relieves stress and depression, qualifies one to return home back to Godhead. But are we chanting for all these benefits? What is the purpose of chanting? We always focus on the benefits of chanting because in this material consciousness we are so much accustomed to the benefits that what we are doing. We should also be knowing what is the purpose of chanting. The purpose of chanting is service, to offer your heart, to offer your consciousness into the service of the holy name. And that service cannot come without love. So service and love are the two purposes of our chanting. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also described, Enechiyashadhi Maya Nashibaro Lagi Se Hari Nama Mantra Kao Tumi Magi. ki. That the only medicine in this world of hypocrisy, in this age of hypocrisy, is the holy name. It is like a medicine that is going to treat our material consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described that it is the Param Upaya, ultimate solution that can help us to touch the real essence of the holy name. We can learn, and through this chanting only, there are stages. One is Shuddha, then Buddha, then Mukta. Shuddha means by chanting we become pure, our consciousness will become pure, and then our consciousness will get awakened, Buddha, and then only the stage will come, we will become Mukta, liberated. We can touch the real essence of the holy name. There's a very beautiful verse given by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Ratnamala, where he describes Nikhila Shruti Mali Ratnamala Duti Nirajita Padapankajanta Ai Mukta Kulerupasya Manam Paritastvam Harinam Sanshrayam. He describes that all the Vedas, the Upanishads, the crown jewel of all the Vedas are the Upanishads, and they are there to worship and touch the lotus feet of the holy name. Harinam Sanshrayami, to touch the lotus feet of the holy name. So I also pray to the holy name. So we should think that the lotus feet of the holy name is there are 16 syllables. So that is what we need to experience. How can there be the holy feet of 16 syllables? So holy name is not something object, or they are not just the syllables. They are a person. Holy name is a person. Making or shifting our consciousness from holy name as it to he. That is what the change we should be bringing in our consciousness while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Only then we can experience the real essence of the holy name. What Vedas say about mantra meditation, that these 16 words, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, are especially meant for counteracting the contaminations of Kali. To save oneself from the contamination of Kali, there is no alternative but the chanting of these 16 words. After searching through all the Vedic literatures, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age, Kali Santara Upanishad. So the holy name, the chanting of these 16 syllables is the surest, quickest, and the easiest way to get the love of Godhead. This is the easiest way to offer our service, to offer our heart, to offer our consciousness to Krishna. Nam Seva is equal to Krishna Seva. So all those people who really want to serve Krishna with all their hearts, they should serve first the holy name. Nam, Roop, Gun, Leela. So this is the stepwise process. We should start from Nam Seva. Only then we'll be able to do Roop Seva, Gun Seva, and then Leela Seva. In his book, Living Name, His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj describes, and also Bhakti Vinod Thakur describes in Harinam Chintamani, that there are only two spiritual entities. One is the spiritual soul, and other is the holy name. Rest, everything is a dull matter. So the creation of this whole world, the creation of this whole cosmos is to bring the two spiritual entities together, to make a relationship or to revive the relationship. The relationship is already there. We need not to develop any relationship with the holy name. We just have to revive our relationship with the Supreme. and the only process is by chanting these 16 syllables. This is the contents of this book. We'll be covering this whole book in these 5 topics. Yojana means the alignment of our mind, body, and heart. Sambandha, to develop a relationship with the Supreme. Seva, service, the mood of service. Vipralambha, chanting in the mood of separation. And Sharnagati, the surrender. This Maharaj describes in his book. In the last but not the least, Maharaj describes in the introduction of the book, please do not forget to chant, chant, and chant, because a regular practice will take you from imperfection to perfection. As Prabhupada also used to say, that if you want to become a perfect drunkard, sit with all the drunkards and drink daily. So if you really want to become a good chanter, sit with the devotees who are good chanters and chant daily. So let us all chant together Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So like this, we'll be chanting one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra at the end of every session so that we can evaluate that whether this understanding has really taken our level up to elevate our consciousness, to really touch our consciousness, the syllables, the essence of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thank you so much for listening patiently. So stay tuned for the next videos as we'll be unfolding the pages of this book, The Living Name. The nectar is going to flow. That nectar is really going to help us to elevate our consciousness, to really delve deeply into the ocean, the nectarian ocean of the holy name. Thank you so much. Stay tuned in. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.